You're driving home after dinner. Red and blue lights flash behind you, your heart starts pounding. The officer walks up. Before you think, you say, "Yeah, I was going a little fast." You just signed your own ticket. Every day, drivers turn warnings into arrests because they admit things they shouldn't, not because they're lying, because they think honesty will help. I've spent 7 years analyzing traffic stop case law and reviewing hundreds of body cam videos. I've seen people talk themselves into thousands in fines, license suspensions, and jail time. Today, I'll show you 5 critical admissions that destroy your defense and the exact phrases that protect you instead. Never admit number 1, speeding. The officer asks the most common question, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" Most people immediately say, "Was I speeding?" Or, "I think I was going over the limit." You just confessed to a traffic violation. You are now the evidence. The officer doesn't need radar anymore. Your words became Exhibit A. Here's why people do it. You think honesty will make the officer go easy. You think admitting fault shows respect. You hope they'll give you a warning instead of a ticket. But here's reality. Honesty sounds like confession to law enforcement. What you see as cooperation, they see as evidence gathering. Picture this. Officer, do you know why I pulled you over? Driver, was I speeding? I thought I was going the speed limit. Officer, so you weren't sure of your speed? Driver, I was keeping up with traffic. Officer, so you were going faster than the limit to keep up? Driver, I guess, yeah. You just admitted 3 times, all recorded on body cam, all quotable in court. Courts treat your admission as voluntary testimony against yourself. Even if the officer's radar was faulty, even if they pulled over the wrong car, your confession makes their case ironclad. I've reviewed cases where drivers beat speeding tickets by staying silent. I've also reviewed cases where perfect defenses were destroyed by roadside admissions. The correct response? No, officer, I don't. 3 words. Calm, polite, neutral. Not rude, not confrontational. You're declining to do their job for them. If they push, were you aware of your speed? You say, I prefer not to answer questions without my attorney. Repeat this phrase every time they ask about your driving. Stay calm, stay polite, stay silent. Bottom line, never admit to speeding. Never guess why you were stopped. Your job isn't to help them build a case. Your job is to protect yourself legally while remaining respectful. Never admit number 2, drinking. The officer asks, have you had anything to drink tonight? You think, just 2 beers with dinner 3 hours ago. I'm fine. I'll be honest. You say, yeah, just a couple drinks. The stop just escalated to DUI investigation. Even stone cold sober, you gave them probable cause for field sobriety tests, breathalyzers, potential arrest. The moment you admit any alcohol consumption, several things happen. Your speech gets analyzed for slurring. Your eyes examined for bloodshot appearance. Your body language scrutinized. Everything becomes evidence confirming your admission. Officers are trained that any admission of drinking, no matter how small or how long ago, justifies escalation. Just 1 beer is enough. With dinner hours ago is enough. Here's how it unfolds. Officer, anything to drink tonight? Driver, 2 beers with dinner 3 hours ago. Officer, when did you finish the last one? Driver, maybe 7. I'm not impaired. Officer, let me be the judge. Step out. Now you're doing field tests designed for failure. Even sober people struggle under stress. And your admission is on video permanently. The body cam problem is severe. Even if you refuse tests, even if you're released without charges, that footage exists. If your speech sounds slightly off or you stumble getting out, that video becomes evidence of impairment. I've analyzed cases where completely sober drivers got DUI charges because they admitted just one drink, then made a small mistake on the test due to nerves. The correct response? I prefer not to answer any questions. Not just one. Not hours ago. Not, I'm fine to drive. I prefer not to answer any questions. This is your Fifth Amendment right. You're not refusing to cooperate with identification. You're declining to answer questions that incriminate you. If they push, why won't you answer? You respond, I'm exercising my right to remain silent. I'm happy to provide my license and registration. Stay calm. Stay polite. Stay silent about alcohol. State note, in Texas and Ohio, DUI carries mandatory jail time for first offenses. In Colorado and California, your license suspends immediately at roadside. Stakes are too high. Bottom line, never admit to drinking, invoke silence. Let them proceed only on what they actually observe. Never admit number 3, phone use. Officer asks, were you on your phone? You explain, just changing music for a second. You confessed to distracted driving. Doesn't matter you weren't texting. Doesn't matter you were stopped. The admission is enough. Wrong way. Officer, were you on your phone? Driver, yeah, just changing music though. Officer, so manipulating your phone while driving? Driver, for 2 seconds. Officer, still distracted driving, license and registration. Right way. Officer, were you on your phone? Driver, I prefer not to answer questions. Officer, I saw you looking down. Driver, am I being detained or free to leave? The difference? First scenario, you did their job. Second, you made them prove it. Without your admission, they rely on what they saw. Looking down isn't enough. Could be radio, speedometer, anything. But I was on my phone gives concrete evidence on body cam. The correct response? I'm not sure, officer. If pushed, I prefer not to answer questions. If threatened with search, I do not consent to any searches. You're forcing them to build their case with actual evidence, not your words. Bottom line, never admit phone use. Politely decline. Let them prove their case without your help. Never admit number 4, not seeing signs. Officer asks, did you see that stop sign? You say, no, I must have missed it. You admitted negligence. Didn't see it legally means wasn't paying attention. That's the definition of negligence. When you admit you didn't see a sign, you're not just confessing to running it. You're confessing to not paying attention. Defense attorneys call this double confession. Officers are trained to ask this. They know most people say no, thinking it sounds better than admitting they saw it and ran it anyway. But didn't see it is worse. It means you're not maintaining proper lookout. It opens you to additional citations for inattentive driving. Officer, did you see the stop sign? Driver, no, I must have missed it. Officer, so you weren't paying attention to traffic controls? Driver, I was paying attention, just didn't see that one. Officer, paying attention means seeing signs. Can't recover. Each explanation makes it worse. The correct response. Can you tell me what happened, officer? This flips it. You're not confirming anything. You're asking them to explain. Cooperative without incriminating. If pressed, I prefer not to answer questions. Am I free to leave or being detained? Traffic judges watch body cams. When they see immediate admission, case over. When they see polite refusal, suddenly there are questions. Was the view obstructed? Was the sign visible? Bottom line, never admit you didn't see something. Ask the officer to explain, then invoke silence. Never admit number 5, marijuana. Officer says, I smell marijuana. Anything in the car? Any answer except silence puts you in trouble. Even, no, there's nothing, can be used against you. State variations matter: Colorado and Maryland. Smell alone isn't probable cause. Courts ruled it's unreliable because hemp smells identical. Texas and Ohio, marijuana fully illegal. Smell gives probable cause to search. Why any answer is dangerous. If you say, "No, I don't have marijuana," the officer has you on record discussing it. Your denial becomes evidence if they find something. If you say, "I have a medical card," you admitted recent use, giving grounds for DUI investigation. Wrong approach. Officer: "I smell marijuana. Anything in the car?" Driver: "No, I don't smoke. Maybe someone else was in my car?" Officer: "So someone had marijuana in your car recently?" Driver: "I don't know, maybe." Officer: "Step out. We're searching." Right approach. Officer: "I smell marijuana. Anything in the car?" Driver: "I'm not comfortable answering questions. I do not consent to searches." Officer: "Why won't you answer if you have nothing to hide?" Driver: "I'm exercising my Fifth Amendment right. If they search anyway, I do not consent to this search. I'm stating for the record I do not consent." Stay silent. Don't argue. Don't resist. Verbally note your non-consent on their body cam. Your attorney can challenge it later. Bottom line, never answer marijuana questions. Never consent to searches. Invoke silence. The 4 core phrases. Memorize these. Practice them. Use them. Phrase 1. Am I free to leave? Use this if approached outside traffic stops or after receiving a ticket. Forces them to clarify: detained, arrested, or free? If yes, leave immediately. If no, move to phrase 2. Phrase 2, I plead the Fifth. Critical point. The Supreme Court ruled in Salinas versus Texas that silence can be used against you unless you explicitly invoke it. You must say, "I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right," or "I plead the Fifth." Once said, questioning should stop. If it continues, repeat and say nothing else. Phrase 3, I want a lawyer. Ends interrogation immediately. Use anytime, even before arrest. Exact words. I'm invoking my Sixth Amendment right to counsel. I won't answer questions without my attorney. If they say you don't need a lawyer if innocent, ignore it. Repeat, I want a lawyer. Phrase 4, I do not consent to searches. Must be clear, not I'd prefer you didn't. Exact words. I do not consent to any searches of my person, vehicle, or property. If they search anyway, I do not consent. I'm stating for the record, I do not consent. How to use together. Officer, where are you coming from? You. Am I free to leave or being detained? Officer, just answer. You. I'm invoking my right to remain silent. Officer, are you hiding something? You. I do not consent to searches. I want my attorney. Calm, polite, firm. The first 30 seconds. Physical safety. Before we close, let me give you the physical safety protocol for the first 30 seconds of any traffic stop. This protects you and the officer. When you see those lights, step 1, pull over safely using your turn signal. Don't brake suddenly. Choose a well-lit area if possible. Step 2, turn off your engine and turn on your dome light if it's dark. Step 3, place both hands on the steering wheel where they're clearly visible. Step 4, roll your window down only 2 to 4 inches, just enough to pass documents through. Step 5, lock all your car doors. This is legal and protects you from unauthorized access. Step 6, if asked why, say, "For everyone's safety, I'll hand you my documents through the window." Step 7, don't reach for anything until asked. When asked, announce, "My license is in my wallet. I'm reaching for it now." This shows cooperation without surrendering control. You're being respectful while maintaining your protected space. During traffic stops, every word is evidence. Body cams record everything. The 5 admissions we covered, speeding, drinking, phone use, not seeing signs, marijuana, are how people destroy their defense. Stop explaining yourself. Stop talking your way out. Start using the 4 phrases. Am I free to leave? I plead the 5th. I want a lawyer. I do not consent to searches. Print these. Keep them in your glove compartment. Practice saying them. When pulled over, adrenaline spikes. These phrases must be automatic. Stay calm, stay polite, stay firm. Cooperation does not mean conversation. Be respectful, not talkative. Remember, this is educational content only, not legal advice. Always consult with a qualified attorney in your state for your specific situation. If this helped you, hit like. Subscribe for more tactical legal breakdowns. Hit the bell for alerts. Share this because everyone deserves to know these tactics. Until next time, know your rights. Use your rights. The smartest answer during a traffic stop is often no answer at all. Stay safe.